What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're back again for a Smackdown Live review for May 29th, 2018. Before we get into the show, into anything else, I do want to talk about the big talking point of the show, in my opinion. Yes, last night on Monday Night Raw, through the entire night, it seemed like they were making a big deal, because it is, and it was supposed to be, the main event match of tonight's show, Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe. They had Cole mention it at least 3, 4, 5, 6 times. Corey Graves said something about it. I don't know if Coach did or not, but they even had at least 1 or 2 commercials about that match tonight. So what does WWE do? Ruin it. How? Big Cass is cleared. Big Cass is cleared. So Daniel Bryan at the beginning of the show was told, "You're not getting the Men in the Bank qualifier match. Big Cass is." Big Cass is like, "When I'm cleared, when is that going to be?" And he said he is already cleared. Paige made tonight's match a triple threat match between those 3 guys, Big Cass, Daniel Bryan, and Samoa Joe. You had for a week, a whole week of this you had it for about 2 weeks really, about a week, from last Tuesday to this Tuesday, over and over, advertising that Samoa Joe versus Daniel Bryan was going to main event SmackDown this week. First thing off the bat, we have Samoa Joe come out and, of course, cut a massively good promo. Daniel Bryan comes out to interrupt. Then Big Cass comes out and just ruins the entire night. Now, I'm not saying the main event was bad at all. It's just you had all week advertised in one shape, way, or form that this match between Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe was a big deal. And all of a sudden, as soon as you start the show off, let's ruin everyone's excitement. Let's ruin everybody's anticipation for this match. How these two are going to make this show, this main event, great by adding Big Cass. Now, Big Cass did hold his own. Samoa Joe and Daniel Bryan are 2 of the best in the world. But to go an entire week like this. Now, if Big Cass was not cleared until yesterday, then it's still a big bummer that they decided to still say, well, it's going to be Samoa Joe versus Daniel Bryan over and over and over on Monday. If this was going to change, you didn't have to show the commercial. You didn't have to have Daniel Bryan. You didn't have Michael Cole. Every time, I believe he said it when we had Money in the Bank match, Money in the Bank matches, influence matches on the show for the men and I believe the women too. But you had them say this multiple times and hype this match up, and all you do is ruin it. The main event match was good, but imagine the time that Big Cass, Daniel Bryan, and Samoa Joe had tonight, which was well over 30 minutes. It felt like to me. Those 2, take away Big Cass and just get Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe. They had 2 commercial breaks, so it was a long match. Had those 2 only get that same spotlight, imagine how that match would have went. WWE ruined it. Why? Because Vince McMahon is a petty prick. Oh, he dangles a carrot. Oh, you want to see that Daniel Bryan Samoa Joe match? Oh, we're going to take that away and we're going to put Big Cass in there and make it a triple threat match. That was completely 100% petty by WWE. You could have had Big Cass come out and screw Daniel Bryan if you want to continue this entire feud. It looks like they're going to with the way the match, after the match was over. But I will say the right man won, and the ending of the match ended the way Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe should have ended. With Daniel Bryan in the Coquina clutch, Daniel Bryan fighting to try and get out, Daniel Bryan passing out. Not tapping because that would have just been the worst thing to do. But Daniel Bryan not tapping, Daniel Bryan passing out and being choked out by Samoa Joe, making Samoa Joe look like that vicious badass that we all know he is. Tonight also we had Asuka pretty much take on Mandy Rose, with Sonya Deville giving a little assist to help Mandy Rose get a little up advantage from the beginning. We had the New Day versus The Bar and Cesaro, and The Miz, not Cesaro. But that match was a 50-50 match in my opinion. The 50 is right before Xavier Woods got the hot tag, where it just seemed like the crowd was dead. Crowd didn't care. The match was Xavier Woods catching tags in, and it was like a different match. And the crowd was hot for the finish. from the start of the match where I'm like, whatever. And then as soon as that tag for Xavier Woods who come in and just shows that this dude, if they do break the New Day up, this dude has shown that he can go on his own and should be given an opportunity to go for the United States Championship. Maybe even have a WWE Championship match against AJ Styles. I'm not saying that Xavier Woods should win the match, but a WWE Championship match, I wouldn't say on pay-per-view, maybe a Smackdown show, if anything, then like have that. Jeff Hardy versus Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods, to me, has been the MVP of the New Day for the last 6 to 8 months. Because when he's in a match for the New Day, singles match, whatever, he always brings it. I remember, I've been watching off and on Xavier Woods since he was Consequences Creed in Impact Wrestling TNA. Back when him and R-Truth were Truth and Consequences, and I think he did something with Jay Lethal, who was the Black Machismo. At the time, I'm not sure about that, but he has always had had showed glimmers of being able to be something special. He didn't really do much in NXT. They brought him up with the entire R-Truth, which is his buddy from Impact Wrestling, convincing Brodus Clay to let him Xavier Woods use his music to make his first debut, and then he didn't really do nothing until the New Day joined, and now there's the New Day. He has his up, down, down, and everything in between, and this guy I could see being a major player as a single star on SmackDown Live. Not Raw, because WWE would just kill him in a singles role on Raw, but SmackDown Live, where he could go up against a Jeff Hardy, he could go up against a Shelton Benjamin, a Randy Orton, a AJ Styles, a Shinsuke Nakamura, a Samoa Joe, Daniel Bryan. Xavier Woods is definitely somebody to look forward to if they break the New Day up, I'm hoping. Let's see here. We also had Nakamura versus Ty Dillinger. It's funny how Ty Dillinger, when given the time to actually show his skill in the ring, puts on a good showing. It wasn't the best match in the world, and I knew he wasn't going to win the match because you got to keep Shinsuke Nakamura looking strong unless AJ Styles music would have played and Ty Dillinger eked out a win that way. But that didn't happen, and I'm glad it didn't, because it would have been like, well, hey, Shinsuke Nakamura is the WWE's #1 contender for the WWE Championship. Ty Dillinger just beat him with a roll-up, and yada, yada, yada. Not going to happen. But it was nice to see Ty Dillinger get TV time, and adequate TV time. When Paige announced this match on Twitter, which Paige is announcing matches on Twitter. Yay, I guess. I was like, oh, this is just going to be a squash. Ty Dillinger is going to go out there, and he's going to get squashed by Shinsuke Nakamura. But no, that didn't happen. They actually had a pretty good match. Nakamura, with his obsessive counting to 10, every time Ty Dillinger got up, he got more vicious. The last time before he ended the match, Ty Dillinger actually got defiance and was going, he's like, I might be going down, but I'm going down swinging, which was just great. I'm hoping this isn't the last we see of Ty Dillinger and he actually gets more time. And hopefully, eventually, he can actually be a major player, not a major, but a player on SmackDown. Let's see here. We also had the Bludgeon Brothers send a message to the Good Brothers via video screen, as they always do. We had a dance-off. We had a Memorial Day barbecue bash for the B team last night. Tonight, we get a dance-off. Are you entertained? I'm not. Let's see what else we had here. We had Asuka versus Mandy Rose. Carmella was out on commentary. I will say about Carmella on commentary, at least she did not come out in that ugly camel toe onesie that she wears. She came out, and she really is becoming the female Enzo Amore. She comes out in a white top, a white sports bra, it looked like, or something like that, and suspenders. Like, are you trying to make her the female Enzo Amore even more? Because that's exactly what she looked like. She had black jeans with the overalls and suspenders. Overalls. I'm like, this is really turning into Enzo. She's really turning into a female Enzo. Now she's going to start wrestling in that? Is she going to start doing a catchphrase? She does have a catchphrase, Mera is money, which is awful. But other than that, she was god-awful, and I really just wish this TV I'm using right now had an actual remote control, because I wish I had the mute button, because she is just awful. Period. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch had a little sparring bar backstage vocally with Paige. Bringing up PCB, can we not talk about PCB? You'll hear that later. They did make a couple matches for next week, which will be Becky Lynch and Charlotte, as well as Lana and Aiden English. This is Naomi and Jimmy. For whatever reason, it's not the Usos and Naomi versus Rusev Day and Lana. It's Lana and Aiden English versus Jimmy and Naomi. What is Rusev doing next week? Yes, I know he's in Money in the Bank, but why is it Lana and Aiden English? Wouldn't you want to have Lana and her husband, Rusev, in a tag match? Kind of weird. Andrade Cien Almas also did not wrestle tonight, and he was met backstage by an old friend of his, Sin Cara, who those two go way back to those, I believe it's CMLL is where they're from, and he pretty much hugs him, tries to be all buddy-buddy with him. Zelina Vega comes in and pretty much puts a stop to that. It looks like next week we'll see Sin Cara versus Andrade Cien Almas. I'm hoping it's not just going to be a 2-minute squash like it was when Sin Cara faced Samoa Joe on the night of the Superstar Shakeup for SmackDown. So it will be interesting to see what we get there. And then we had Samoa Joe versus Big Cass versus Daniel Bryan for the Money in the Bank qualifier. The show started off with Samoa Joe, who comes down, and it's like he's just going to cut his promo. He grabs a ladder from under the ring, sets it up, and no one else, I think's done this when it comes to Money in the Bank. Came out, walked up, they climbed up the ladder, and actually pulled the briefcase down. And he then cuts a promo, who then gets interrupted by Daniel Bryan, and then Big Cass. Not break anything here. Here's Samoa Joe, and then Big Cass interrupts a confrontation between him and Daniel Bryan.
It is said in biblical texts that the ladder represents the connection of the earth to the heavens. It is said that when Jacob looked upon his ladder, angels descended from above, smiling and offering salvation. But my version is very, very different. There is no salvation. There are no smiling angels, although after Money in the Bank, I'll be smiling.
And he's holding the Money in the Bank briefcase.
Right now.
Is there anything wrong with having just a plain old black Money in the Bank briefcase like we had for all the WrestleManias, where after the show's over, and a couple weeks later when RVD did it, I think Mr. Anderson did one too, and I think Edge might have later on when he got, I don't know. But it'd be cool to see that come back, where you get the graffitied Money in the Bank briefcase, where you win the Money in the Bank, and then you come on to the next Raw or right after that, and it's all painted up and everything. Those were cool. Just this green and yellow Money in the Bank briefcase just looks ugly.
Because I will have secured my championship opportunity. I will have ascended up, taken down the Money in the Bank briefcase. And after which, I unleash a campaign of anxiety and fear on Smackdown Live and its champion that will shake this place to its very core. And tonight, I prove to your beloved Daniel Bryan that there are things far worse than forced retirement. In fact, Bryan, if your eco-friendly, tree-hugging sensibilities will allow it, I want you to jump on a cell phone. I want you to call your wife Bree, and I want you to have her tell your sweet, sweet daughter a story. I want her to tell your daughter that Daddy will be home from Money in the Bank, but he won't be the same man. Hold on.
They call out the rest of it, but he says, when your daughter asks your mother who did this to him, he says, I want her to tell her that it was a bad man and his name is Samoa Joe. Then Daniel Bryan walks out. But you just got to love Samoa Joe. His promos are the best promos on the main roster right now. Adam Cole down in NXT, Samoa Joe on main roster. Just saying. Samoa Joe just is the quintessential badass heel, and I love every time this guy talks on the mic, because when he talks, you drop whatever you're doing and you listen, because this guy is speaking the truth.
Hold on. There are just certain lines that you do not cross. And I have a vision of my own, Joe, and it goes like this. You mention my wife or my daughter one more time, and I will break your leg.
Ooh, confrontation.
We don't have to wait. We can fight right now!
That'd be too easy. That'd be too easy.
The fact of the matter, that should be my Money in the Bank opportunity.
So Big Cass comes out with his nice suit, like blue suit, tie, with one crutch. Now, anybody who's been watching WWE or any wrestling from forever knows one crutch means something's going down. Two crutches means usually means they're actually injured. Case in point, Tommaso Ciampa down in NXT. He's been when this whole entire feud with him and Johnny Gargano picked back up. It started at Philadelphia, where he had one crutch, and he would continue to use one crutch. So there's a little bit of tidbit for anybody. But he comes down and he's interrupts all this that everybody was waiting on.
Not yours, Daniel Bryan. This second chance crap has got to stop.
Agreed.
I spoke to SmackDown Live General Manager Paige, and this match, Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe, will not happen. What will happen is Samoa Joe will take on yours truly, Big Cass, for the final spot in the Money in the Bank ladder match. When I am cleared. Good question. When will I be cleared? I already am cleared.
He runs up with the clutch and ends up trying to hit Daniel Bryan, but Daniel Bryan moves and he hits Joe. Daniel Bryan's on him now with the yes kicks in the corner. But Daniel Bryan goes to try and pull him out, and he gets thrown into the ladder that Joe put up in the corner. Cass grabs the nice little green briefcase and whacks Samoa Joe in the head. He winds up and whacks Daniel Bryan in the head. And he, of course, sits there and celebrates and stands tall with the briefcase. Again, you hyped up for an entire week this match, Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe. And you ruin it because why? Oh, because Big Cass had an opportunity and he got injured, but yet we want to get Big Cass his opportunity now. Really? Really? That's kind of dumb. When has that ever mattered, really? Where it's, somebody got injured. Like, this would be like when John Cena got injured and you gave Ryback the championship match at Hell in a Cell in 2012. Yeah, 12. And Ryback was only in there because John Cena was injured, when right before the match was to happen, and it was like the day or so John Cena was cleared. They didn't change the match then. Why would you change the match now? Because WWE ruins what everybody wants to see. In the back we see Nakamura with a bunch of with 10 of these cue cards or something that just have the number 1 through 10 on them, and he's counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When he gets to 10, he rips the 10 because it's going to be him and Ty Dillinger. Before we get to that match, we have Paige in the back, and she runs into her old Absolution buddies who are trying to pretty much intimidate her and say that why is Asuka getting a title match when she's not deserving? There's other people more deserving than her. Paige says, well, she was undefeated for 2.5 years, But Sonya Deville's like, what has she done? What has she done lately? Oh, she lost the show at WrestleMania. She lost her first match, and blah 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 blah. Paige says, Mandy Rose, you get Asuka tonight. So Asuka versus Mandy Rose would be later in the night. Nakamura, it's time for, she does run into Renee Young, and Renee Young asks her about what just happened. Paige is like, I didn't expect Samoa Joe to hijack the show at the beginning, and I certainly didn't expect Big Cass to speak for me. What's going to happen is that it was supposed to be Big Cass's match, and Daniel Bryan did earn an opportunity for this match. So tonight's main event is going to be Samoa Joe versus Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass. Shinsuke Nakamura versus Ty Dillinger. As soon as they put the graphic on the screen, like the people getting ready to play their instruments, the crowd went wild. Like, this guy, even as a heel, is getting cheered in this town, which I don't even remember where they're at. I don't know if they were in Richmond or DC or where. I think they were probably in DC because I saw a lot of Capitals fans in the arena. Go Knights. Pop before his music hits, Ty shows Nakamura at the beginning, and Nakamura with a gut shot to Ty. Chops by Dillinger, then one in the corner. Shot in the corner, and then in the crowd with a 10 chant along the way. You know, the standing up in just 1, 2, 3, but no, it's 10. Oh, I hate the 10 chants right now. Drop kick by Ty to Nakamura. Ty goes for the dive through the ropes, but Nakamura with a stop, looks like a jumping kick or a knee to the face. Back from break, and Nakamura has a chin lock on Ty as he dominated during the break. Ty with a jawbreaker to Nakamura to fight out of that, who had him in a chin lock. Nakamura with a knee to Ty's gut. Nakamura hit with his own count to Ty as Ty's down, taunting AJ Styles like, yeah, you see what I'm doing to him? When we get to Money in the Bank, I'm just going to have the referee count you down. Every time Ty Dillinger would get up, Nakamura would seem to be a little bit more pissed as the fact that Ty Dillinger would not stay down till 10. Ty fights back and Nakamura with some stiff shots, his combination to Ty, and then he begins to count again. Ty gets up again and shots at Ty's gut. He places Ty on the top rope and then does his roll through and then running knee into the corner. Then Nakamura counts again. Ty gets up, and this time he does his perfect 10. Ty Dillinger ducks out of the way of Nakamura, and he does the Nakamura, come on, which was probably not a good idea. Nice to see Ty Dillinger be defiant, but like, listen, motherfucker, you might beat me, you might take me out, but I'm not gonna be a little bitch. I'm going to fight until I win, like, have a chance to win this match. Knees to Ty, then a clothesline and a knee to the side of Nakamura's face. Nakamura with the kick to the face, jumping knee to the air to Ty's face. Kinshasa to Ty Dillinger for the 3 count. Winner is Shinsuke Nakamura. Post-match, Ty Dillinger is trying to get up, but Shinsuke Nakamura with another Kinshasa to the back of the head. And he counts Ty Dillinger down for 10, this time with a microphone in his hand. In the back, AJ Styles is interviewed, and I'm pretty sure that, yeah, it's on here. That one is here. And he is being asked by, I think, Dasha Roboto, or whoever it is, about the match at Money in the Bank.
AJ, we just saw what Nakamura did to Ty Dillinger. Obviously, Nakamura selected the last man standing match because he believes that stipulation will work in his favor. Believe it will?
Well, I did see what he did to Ty. I haven't forgotten what he did to me last week. Shasa, a knee to my face. And then he mocks me with a 10 count. Somewhere down the line, something inside Shinsuke has snapped. I'm sure there's some twisted reason for it. Now I even feel like he's more dangerous than he's ever been. Then he picks a stipulation to a match that clearly benefits him as a skilled striker. I mean, this is the story of my life. So many times I've walked into a ring where my opponent thinks he has the advantage and underestimates. That's why I'm the WWE champion. You see, I fight smarter and harder than the guy who is clearly bigger and stronger than me. See, I'm the last man to leave the gym, I am the last man to leave the arena, and I am the last man to back down from a challenge. And at Money in the Bank, Shinsuke Nakamura is going to try to tear down everything that I have built. But when it's all said and done, when it's over, The last man standing will be phenomenal. AJ Styles!
So that's how we get that built for Money in the Bank. Just, getting us to Money in the Bank. It was nice again to see Ty Dillinger actually get some time on TV and not just be blatantly squashed. He actually got a lot in on Shinsuke Nakamura, and him coming up towards one of those end of those 10 counts and just being doing his perfect 10, ducking over under Shinsuke Nakamura and then taunting Shinsuke. And it's like, this guy's being defiant. He knows he's probably going to get his ass kicked, but he's being defiant, and it was like, that's great to see. Just great to see. And then we go to Rusev Day, and they say, up next is a dance-off between Naomi and Lana. And because the Usos aren't facing the Bludgeon Brothers, they drag the Usos into this. Lana, and they I don't care about the fucking thing, I really wasn't going to pay, I didn't even pay no attention to it. I look back up, and you see these two, back-to-back, shoulder, with their arms up around their chest. But Naomi ends up eating a neck breaker from Lana, who ends up beating the hell out of her for a moment, and it all breaks down. The Usos and Naomi get the upper hand, sending Rusev Day and Lana packing. The New Day versus The Miz and The Bar. Like I said, the first half of this match was nothing special. The second half, the remainder of the match was when everything went completely great. Woods gets a hot tag and goes ape shit crazy on everybody, taking everyone out, getting a slingshot tornado DDT. He did a run onto Sheamus, who was in the corner, and dove over, landing onto Cesaro. He was as soon as he got that tag, he was on a house of fire. Match ends when Big E tags in, Illuminati backbreaker for a 2 count, big ending block, Miz tags in, DDT for a 2. The Bar drop Woods onto the apron, they are celebrating, but Kofi Kingston runs into the ring, runs to the corner, and does a dive off of those two. Big E with the big ending for the 3 count, and we still do not know who is going to be the one of the New Day in the tag team title, the Money in the Bank ladder match. They wish they would have, I'm pretty sure they'll probably have to tell us, or we'll wait until 2 weeks from now. But then we go to the back, and Renee Young is with the Good Brothers, Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows.
This time, the Good Brothers, Anderson and Gallows. Gentlemen, last week you earned the opportunity to compete for the Smackdown Tag Team Championships at Money in the Bank. But how do you prepare for a team like the Bludgeon Brothers?
Renee, look at my good brother, Carl Abs Anderson.
Oh my God.
He puts the abs in absolutely shredded. Come on. Bam! Wow. I know my hot Asian wife loves them.
Oh God, can we stop talking about the hot Asian
We're in the
wife?
best shape of our careers. We're hungry, and we'll do whatever it takes to be the SmackDown Live Tag Team Champions. After our match last week, we buried the hatchet with the Usos. We went out and kicked back a couple of brewskis, and then we asked them about their battles with those behemoths.
Yeah, see, we definitely have our work cut out for us. But the Bludgeons are beastly. But at Money in the Bank, we're gonna beat the Bludgeon Brothers like they're a couple of,
Suddenly, a little bit of noise, and a monitor by beside them changes to the Bludgeon Brothers. That Harper match is just still creepy as hell.
The depraved will infect the decent. Minds obliterated. Souls corrupted. Bodies liquefied. Prepare yourselves for the Bludgeon Brothers!
Okay, they haven't been seen on TV since Greatest Royal Rumble, I think? Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens at Money in the Bank for those two teams. Then we had Asuka versus Mandy Rose come out here on commentary. She does look like the female ends are more and more, even every day, especially dressing like him now. I thought she dated Big Cass, but I guess she has a thing for cheap New Jersey guys who sit there and think they can skate on by with just a catchphrase. Rose takes advantage after Asuka's making her entrance. Sonya Deville from behind laying out Asuka. So instead of it being a quick 2-minute match, Asuka gets, like, pretty much, it's a pretty much even match for a bit. Again, Carmella's got awful on them. God awful. The entire fucking match, she wanted to drill it in your head that the fact that Charlotte Flair beat Asuka at WrestleMania and that she beat Charlotte twice, she's twice as good as Asuka, twice as good as everybody. And I just wanted to rip my goddamn ears off. She's so fucking annoying. Asuka wins with the Asuka lock. The rest of this match I didn't give a fuck about. Post-match, Carmella gets in the ring, raises her title belt. Her music plays as they stare down a little bit, and she moonwalks away, and she leaves. Then we had Charlotte in the back with Becky after this match, and she pretty much just like penning the Asuka versus Charlotte 2, which I'm pretty sure we're all going to get at SummerSlam.
Smackdown Women's Championship at Money in the Bank. Yeah, I can see it now. Asuka wins at Money in the Bank. I win the contract at Money in the Bank. And the stage is set for a WrestleMania rematch. I just see a wall. I think you need to look a little to your left. More. A little more. And there you go. Hello. Now you can see it. Actual winner of this year's Nightlife match. Look. I know that we're friends and all that, but the only way to win is to make like Han and fly solo. Last year I was freaking fingertips away from grabbing that contract, and this year nothing is gonna stop me. Not even you. And that's what makes this so hard. I know how bad you want to win. I want you to win. But as bad as you want to win, I need that contract. I need to win my title back. And because I'm in this match, I'm going to win. Not this one. With all due respect, this is mine. Okay. Oh, this is getting good, ladies. Oh, seriously, I love this competitive spirit. We need this to bring the contract back to Smackdown Live. I love this. You know what this reminds me of? Team PCB.
Can we not mention PCB again? That entire fucking shit back when Women's Evolution started was some god-awful television, and I hope they don't talk about it again.
Do you remember that? That was great memories. In fact, that gives me a great idea. Ladies, it's tea time. Yeah? How do you do this? I could do this to them. Alright, well, keep this up. Yeah.
That was weird. Anyway, she makes a match between those two next week. Should be a good match there. It is Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. Then, we had Andrade Cien walking out of the men's locker room. He doesn't even get his own locker room, just the men's, which is not where he needs to be yet. I'm sure we'll hear about that eventually from Vega, when an old friend from the past walks into him. Okay, it doesn't want to work. My computer, my internet's sometimes messed up when I'm doing things. But anyways, Zelina Vega pretty much tells off Sin Cara. So basically, they didn't announce it, but I'm pretty sure we're going to see Andrade Cien versus Sin Cara next week. So the nameless jobbers are done. Now Andrade Cien is going to start with the named jobbers like Sin Cara and whoever else, and he's going to work his way up. So hopefully, because it is two familiar faces and these two go way back, we could have maybe a competitive match. It would be nice to see. I mean, Sin Cara is worth more than he is. I mean, he's not worth a lot, but he's worth a lot more than what they have him as. So I would love to see Andrade Cien in a 10-minute, maybe a 5-minute match between him and Sin Cara, show off what these two can do against each other, because I'm sure they battled before back in the day. Samoa Joe versus Big Cass versus Daniel Bryan. Last Money in the Bank qualifier after tonight. All 8 men and all 8 women are qualified for Money in the Bank. Bryan and Joe are attacking Cass from the beginning, pretty much because of what happened earlier in the night. Both men were choking him out. Both men, the alliance between those two ends after Big Cass falls out of the ring. Joe goes after Bryan, when Cass is removed. Brian botches Brian goes to do his backflip, and I think Samoa Joe fell into the turnbuckle because Daniel Bryan, pretty much, it was shoulder tapped. He tapped his shoulder on top of Samoa Joe's shoulder when he flipped over him. It looked pretty bad. But he ends up, I think, doing a diving drop kick onto Big Cass. Samoa Joe then takes out Daniel Bryan, and he hits a dive, taking out Big Cass again. Flash off the top rope by Daniel Bryan to both men as they go to break. Joe and Cass are going after it back and forth as we come back. Bryan backing in, and Joe takes him out. Atomic drop, then a kick to the boot after the atomic drop. A kick to the face, atomic drop combo with a senton as well. For a 2 count, Cass breaks it up. Cass and Joe back at it, but Daniel Bryan over, and he goes after Cass with the yes kicks in the corner to Cass's knee. Daniel Bryan still has a little bit of a vendetta to Big Cass, and he does want to try and take his knee out to put him on the shelf again. So all the rumors of Big Cass dealing with the similar knee injury for now are not true. With that knee injury to a guy his size could be really troublesome later on, so Big Cass has got to play it safe for a good while. Cass tosses Bryan out of the ring and tosses him over the announce table, thinking Daniel Bryan's out for a while. I was like, okay, this means Daniel Bryan's probably going to win, because usually when you throw somebody and take them out of the match or pull them out of the equation, then that's it. But Cass gets back in the ring, takes Samoa Joe with a big boot to the face, and then Samoa Joe is on top of the turnbuckle, and out of nowhere, Daniel Bryan comes in and hits a drop kick. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. It happened so fast, I couldn't even process what he actually did. He was on the top turnbuckle. Bryan going crazy on everyone. Bryan goes for his shots in the corner standing shots in the corner. Does a Hurricane Rana to Samoa Joe, and then Daniel Bryan starts hulking up. Bryan with the drop kicks in the corner, but Cass with a clothesline to Bryan. And he gets a 2 count, and then the mounted punches to Daniel Bryan. Cass and Bryan in the ring. Now Bryan fights back, but eats a knee to the gut as they go to break. Before that happened, I'm like, damn, there's a lot of time left. It was 9:45, and I'm like, there's still 15 minutes in this match. That's fucking amazing. Now just imagine how much better, because this was a good match, but imagine how much better this match would have been if it was Samoa Joe versus Daniel Bryan by themselves. East River crossing by Big Cass onto Daniel Bryan for a 2 count. Dueling yes kicks by Daniel Bryan to both Cass and Joe, and he actually got both of them with the spin kick. Usually with the spin kick on dueling yes kicks, he would hit the first one, but the second one would get blocked. But no, he actually got both of these guys. Pins Big Cass, only gets a 2. Instead of jumping over and going to try and pin Samoa Joe, he just immediately gets back onto Big Cass. Dragon Screw by Daniel Bryan to Big Cass. Not Dragon Screw. Daniel Bryan's Dragon Screw looks absolutely vicious. He is trying mercilessly, without mercy, trying to destroy somebody's leg. He did it to Jeff Hardy last week. Jeff wasn't heard from this week, which is fine. Joe with the clutch on Daniel Bryan, but Bryan rolls through for a 2 count. Cass back up, misses the boot. Bryan goes for the yes lock and locks it in, but Samoa Joe wisely, who was outside, pulls him off of him. Bryan with the running knees to the outside, all men are down. Bryan struggling to get on the apron, then onto the top rope, and hits the missile drop kick off the top rope. Bryan kicks up after hulking up, and he's getting pumped with his yes, looking for the running knee, and hits it. Joe picks up Daniel Bryan and puts him in the Coquina clutch. Daniel Bryan fights with all his might to try and find a way out. Cass rolls out of the ring. Daniel Bryan is fighting. He's trying to stay alive, and like it should have been if this was a one-on-one match, Daniel Bryan does not tap out. He passes out. Your winner in the 8th and final man in the men's Money in the Bank, Samoa Joe. Post-match, Big Cass is up, and he is pissed as a motherfucker. Boots Daniel Bryan in the face, and that's how Smackdown Live ends. So, little disappointed with the fact that WWE decided, well, we have a money-making match between Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe, unless that's going to be a match at Extreme Rules or SummerSlam or something. A big money-making match between these two, and Daniel Bryan and Samoa Joe. And we took it away from free TV, which is fine. I'd rather see it on pay-per-view where we have to actually pay to see it. But yeah. It's like you advertise it. It's not like It was out of the blue. Coming up tonight is Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe out of the blue. No, you advertised it for a week. A week. And what'd you do? You took it away as soon as SmackDown came on the air. I don't understand why they did that. Why they didn't just go with Daniel Bryan versus Samoa Joe. Maybe there's a reason for it. But it's going to be interesting to see what they do. So, yeah, that was one of those things that I'm just like, WWE just loves to spoil things. Now, what does this leave Daniel Bryan and Big Cass? I honestly do not want to see them. I don't want to see them again go with Big Cass versus Daniel Bryan. There's no point. No point. It happened at Backlash. Daniel Bryan won that match. There's nothing else for them to do. I would actually like to go Daniel Bryan versus Jeff Hardy. Maybe next week we could have Big Cass versus Daniel Bryan. The winner goes to Money in the Bank to face Jeff Hardy for the thing, and that's it. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they say. WWE has a lot they can still do for SmackDown. SmackDown has a lot more they can do than Monday Night Raw, in my opinion. It looks like we're going to get Elias versus Seth Rollins for the Intercontinental title, but there's still no direction of where Jeff Hardy's going to go, who was, again, not on tonight. Maybe selling the Dragon Screw that he had to the Dragon Screw and heel hook that he had to endure last week. Maybe that's what they did that for. I'm not sure. So, honestly, we have 2 weeks left until Money in the Bank. Hopefully next week, or the go-home show, which I hope is not the go-home show, because I would like to have the number one contenders match next week, and then the go-home show could be a promo or stare down or whatever between the U.S. champion and his challenger, because it is what it is. But I'm hoping that's what we get. Daniel Bryan versus Jeff Hardy. Daniel Bryan versus Big Cass should be the main event next week. And we get Daniel Bryan, and it's a number one contender for the United States Championship. Yes, I know. Shelton Benjamin, who hasn't been seen, is he injured? I don't know. And Ty Dillinger should get a shot maybe sometime, but this is what we got. Let me know in the comment section below what you thought of SmackDown Live. It was a pretty decent show. SmackDown has been consistent with decent shows. Always something there to drag it down. The dance-off was unnecessary. The Oscar match was, again, very unnecessary. Wasn't needed. But other than that, a pretty good show. So let's hope that we see something good next week. We do have a couple matches that, it is what it is. Charlotte versus Becky Lynch should be a good match. So that was always a good match, and we'll have to wait and see. But until then, my name is The France. Make sure to find me on Twitter at The France. Follow me on Twitter at The France. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, follow me on twitch.tv/TheFrance08 where I'm on stream every single day, and make sure to hit that follow button on Twitch as well, so you know when I'm streaming. Until then, my name is The France. You have a nice afternoon, evening, or night, or day, and I will see you guys later.